You that guest on the program today is a phenomenal human being. Of course, she is a woman. This is where you'll be proud you are a woman.
Yes.
Did you ride the bicycle when you were small?
I kept falling off.
I said bicycle. I didn't even say bike or bicycle.
Even with the bicycle, I was falling.
Okay, so of course, in a bit, you will meet our guest. And of course, she's coming into the studio in the most dynamic way possible this morning. Did you hear that?
Wow. Wow.
Okay, I'm sure you can hear the
You can hear the sound
of the bike, and of course that is okay.
Oh.
You know, do you know the power of this thing?
That's why it's called a
Do
power.
you know the power of this power bike? Because it is a power bike. And Mama Spade is our guest on the program this morning. That is what she's called. I'm dying to know how she came about Mama Spade anyway. And of course, her name is Omolewa. And you're wondering,
Omolewa. Mama Spade.
Mama Spade.
Biker.
Omolewa.
Explorer. Adventurous.
What's going on? Which space is this lady from? So, it's good to have you on the program
Thank you so
this
much.
morning. I'm sure you have to first get off all this gear before we're able to
Yes.
see your face. Do you remember when
sexy
Adebola came here the other day? So this was
Yes.
how he unveiled.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
And she's so soft-spoken.
Yes, like when I saw her this morning, I was expecting to hear one horse.
Husky voice.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Nigeria.
Nigeria. Tenere. That's the name of my bike.
Oh, okay. That's
Yes.
the name of your bike. And I know you're dying to have a GS.
Yes, you
are.
know me well.
You will tell us why. You will tell us why you're dying to have that. Let's start, with the fact that, usually, and I mean, on your page, I've also realized that there's so many female bikers now in Nigeria. The thing was we used to have so many male bikers, but we're beginning to see many. Goe Baide is another female biker. So what attracted you to this machine?
When I was in uni, I used to have biker friends, and they would take me on their bikes.
Wow.
I would go out of town. I remember I'll come back excited. I'll tell my mom. My mom would say, don't follow this your friends again. You need new friends. And, that was how we started. And I remember saying, when I grow up, I would buy my own bike. Because whenever they take me on their bike, it doesn't feel as fast as they claim. So they tell
because
me,
you were not riding.
Exactly. So they tell me when you ride yours, you would feel the power. So I was waiting until the day I grew up, and then I grew up.
Oh, you grew up really fast.
Yes.
Oh,
And I
wow.
went
So
for
what
it.
year did you actually get your own bike?
Okay, so first I went to riding school in
Okay.
2019, and then in 2020 I got my first bike.
Wow. So it was more or less like going to a riding school, like you were learning how to drive a car.
Exactly. Yes. But
So there are
this time
rudiments
they
to even riding this
had-
bike.
Yes.
Ha.
You have to safely do it.
You have to safely
Do it. Most times on our roads, I see, bikers in groups, but they go zoom, 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 And then you just came back from a trip, and it was a solo one.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to go on a solo trip and not, with your group?
I needed to do it for the women.
Yeah, okay.
Because when I started the trip, when I wanted to go on this trip, I wanted to go with a friend because I didn't believe I could do it alone.
Right.
But my friend couldn't go, and I had to do it alone.
Another female or a male?
A male.
A male, okay.
Yeah, because I was thinking, if my bike falls, who would assist me? But then I thought to do it for the girl child. I mean, let them know that we too are brave. We can do things on our own. And
You're getting emotional. It must mean a lot. It means a lot to you.
yes, because I was really scared when the time came to do it alone.
Okay.
I had talked to everybody. asking them, do you think I can do this? And they would say, one of my friends, Bewa, would say, if there's anybody that can do this, it's
you.
Bewa. So you just go for it. Do
Okay.
it for the rest of us. And
Right.
Yeah.
Is Bewa also a biker?
Yes, she is.
Ah, okay, right. So, I mean, before you went on this trip, there must have been a reason why you chose South Africa. You tell us about that. But before then, have you ridden around Nigeria? And what was the experience before you thought, okay, let's take it a notch higher?
Yeah. Yes. So when I started my riding journey, I would go from maybe Lagos to Ibadan because my parents lived in Ibadan, so I would often go to Ibadan. Then I took it a tour further to Ife, and every time I go further, I tell myself, oh, I think I can go more. Then an opportunity came to go to Gombe.
Wow.
A bikers converge, and I went to Gombe.
You went to Gombe.
Yes.
How long did it take?
How many
you?
days?
2 days.
Oh.
I went to Abuja. I got to Abuja on the first day, and then the day after, Gombe. And it was beautiful, right? And when I got to Gombe, I said, no, I'm not going to take the same route back. I want to see more of Nigeria.
No, I would like to.
So I went to Kaduna, Kano, Bauchi.
Okay.
You know, I explored the north. It was beautiful to see Nigeria. And this motorcycle has given me the opportunity, you know, to see my own country. So yes, I've been around my country before deciding to go outside.
So why did you choose South Africa?
Okay, so before I went to South Africa, I've gone from Lagos to Ivory Coast.
Okay.
And I thought to myself, what's the next?
Was that a solo trip as well?
No,
Okay.
I went with my girls,
Okay.
my female bikers,
Okay.
And then I thought, where next? South Africa. Because there hasn't been anybody from Lagos that rode to South Africa, though there's been someone that rode from South Africa to Lagos.
Okay.
But yes, so I wanted to go that route and see for myself. You know, South Africa has always been in my head. I don't know why.
Okay.
Maybe because of the man that rode from South Africa to
Lagos,
Nigeria. Yeah, so I've always had South Africa in my head. So I'm like, yes, I'm going to go to South Africa. And
that's South Africa
I did.
you went.
I went to South Africa.
You know, I find people traveling by road, I find it rather bold.
Yeah.
You know, and you come across different other countries before you get to your final destination. I'd like you to take us through the routes, you know, the other countries you know, passed through before you go to South Africa, and what were, you know, the culture shock, you know, you must have encountered.
Yeah. Okay, so from Nigeria, my first country was Cameroon. I remember getting to Cameroon, and before I even crossed into Cameroon, there was a lot of stories, Anglophone crisis, kidnapping, and I was scared. I had my first major panic attack a day before I crossed. I didn't know if I was going to continue. But then I got into Cameroon, and the first thing I saw was that the people in Cameroon, they are so nice.
Okay.
They are so kind. From the border, they already said, oh, you're a tourist, you cannot go alone. You're going to go with the military convoy so that you're safe, and, you know. And that was all, I mean, that was what I got in every country. So in Cameroon, I experienced food, I experienced nice people. I like food a lot, so I posted some of this food, and people would be like,
And you ate
what
this.
are you eating? You know, what is this? But yeah, the food was really tasty. I mean, our cultures are very similar. Even our food, they eat plantain, chicken, you know, the kind of food I would also eat. And then from Cameroon, I crossed to Congo, Congo Brazzaville. In Congo, it was all about fish. They like fish a lot, grilled fish, fried fish. I was just eating, I think they call it poison.
Not poison.
Not poison.
Poison.
Because I think their language is similar to French.
Yeah, so poison, and then I think chicken is poulet.
Poulet,
So poulet and dodo. So yeah, and when I crossed to DRC, DRC, I can't say I experienced food because I was just eating maybe spaghetti, you know, the normal things we would eat here. And then I got to Angola and everything changed.
Okay.
Because in Angola, they speak Portuguese.
Right.
I do not speak Portuguese. I only knew maybe 2 words. Bom dia, which is good morning, and then obrigado, which is thank you. Once I say bom dia, they start to speak. You know, I'm like, nada. I don't know. You know, so in Angola also, they eat a lot of fish. And I experienced this food called pap. Really tasty.
But they eat pap in South Africa as well.
Yes, they eat pap in South Africa.
Like our pap here.
No, it's
It's like semo.
It's exactly. It's
Yeah.
like
It's like
like swallow.
Yes,
Swallow,
Yes,
okay.
it's swallow. And I also experienced cassava.
Yeah.
Yes, in
Congo?
Cameroon and Congo. Yes, they had
You know,
cassava.
my sister-in-law is Congolese.
Oh.
So I know that they eat a lot of cassava.
Yes.
In Congo.
They have cassava sticks. It tastes like gari.
It tastes like, yes.
hard gari. Cassava sticks with cassava leaves.
Leaves. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
like A4.
Yes, like
Something
F4.
close
They
to
even
that.
have okra soup also. So yeah, our cultures are really similar.
on the continent,
Yeah,
okay.
across the continent. Then Angola, and then when I got to Namibia, I still had pap, and then I ate worm.
You ate
The
what?
normal worm.
Worm. It was really.
It was tasty.
Did you know you were eating a worm?
Yes,
or it
of
was
course.
after you ate it, they told you it
I
was a
saw
worm?
it on the menu, and I asked because it was pap and something. I'm like, I would like
You want this?
I was going local. I wanted the local dish.
Dishes,
And
right.
I remember the guy telling me, no, this one, you shouldn't eat it. You cannot eat it.
Because
I said,
you're not a local.
yes,
so
he said
was
it's only a
worried.
local person that should eat it, that they should bring me meat stew. So in case I cannot eat it with that
That
worm.
you could fall
But
back
when
on
I
that.
saw that worm,
You wanted
I was happy.
Can you imagine?
I was happy. I took a picture of it. I posted it. Everybody was just screaming, God, what are you eating, this woman? And then I got to South Africa, and in South Africa, they had pap also. I don't know if you know this thing, egbo. They call it egbo.
Egbo.
It's like
Yes,
corn,
yeah.
abi, mashed
Yes,
corn.
mashed corn, yeah.
They have it in South Africa. I tasted it, and I was so happy. I was like,
Finally!
like we're together, you know. Africa is actually our cultures are very similar. In DRC, I went to the museum and I saw all the artifacts. You know, it just reminded me of masquerade drums. We are more similar than
we sing.
Yeah.
So the entire journey took you about a month, or how long?
Yes, over a month. It took
Over a
me
month?
5 weeks.
5 weeks.
Yeah.
And so for every country that you went into, how long did you stay for?
Some countries I stayed 4 days, 5 days, because in different countries I went to different states, you know. So I had to sleep, spend some time, and then I always went to the capital where I stayed a few days with the biking community, and so.
Because I was going to ask, because I mean, did you meet with the bikers community in those countries that you went to?
In every country. So the bikers bond is
Because you have
strong.
one passion.
Yeah, because another biker knows the risk. They know it's only a biker that knows what it takes, right? So we all come together and stay together. So in every country I went through, the bikers were there picking me up from the border, taking me to my hotel or escorting me to the border. It was just beautiful. They even had parties for me in each country.
Okay,
Did you reach out to them? Did you reach out to them ahead of the journey?
Yeah, so funny enough, before I got to Cameroon, I didn't know any biker in these countries. But I have a friend who reached out to the bikers in Cameroon.
Okay.
And by the time I got to my first stop in Cameroon, my phone was blowing up. Hello. And they don't even speak English. Like, hello, where are you? You know, we're using Google Translate. Where are you? We heard you are coming. Where have you gotten to? And I'll say, oh, I'm here. Say, okay, just wait there. Wait there. The bikers are coming to meet you. And it was just beautiful.
Right.
It was beautiful.
During your journey, was there any point you felt, I need to go back, I can't do this again?
I won't lie, it was tough, but the only time, I never thought of going back.
Okay.
But the only time that I was really scared was just before I crossed the border into Cameroon. That was the only time that I was really scared. But the moment I crossed,
So why were you
I was
scared?
fine. Because they said, oh,
it
they are
felt like-
kidnapping on the way. You know, I think it was just the kidnapping thing because I'm like, hey, God, I was not kidnapped in Nigeria. Is this in Cameroon that they will now kidnap me? You know,
Right.
and I just left everything to God. I'm like, at this point, you know, God, take the wheel. If you want them to kidnap me, no problem. If you don't want them to kidnap me, I will go in peace, you know, and I did.
You
go
know
in
what I'm
peace.
thinking? Okay, when you carried your bike out of your house, you know, where did you, was it still Google Map that was saying, go this way, go that way,
Yes,
go that
You
way?
had it
Yes.
all planned. You had it
Yes,
all
even I
marshaled
used
out.
Google Map to plan the routes before I
Okay.
started the journey. I knew the towns I was going to stop on my route. And when I started my journey, I just put it in Google Map. Take me to this town.
Did
And
you
it
ride
took
that?
me
Did
through.
you ride at
Technology.
night, or it was strictly
Hey.
a day thing?
So I didn't plan to ride at night, but it happens sometimes. I think I rode at night maybe 3 times. And each time I'll tell myself, I'm not riding at night again. Because aside from visibility, it is not safe, you know,
Right.
to ride at night in another man's country. When I was going from Cameroon, from Yaoundé, which is the capital of Cameroon, to the border of Congo, yes, I rode at night. I was really scared because it was just bush.
An unknown terrain.
Unknown there, and you know, during the day I saw that it was bush. So at night I was already scared that what is inside these bushes, but nothing happened. It was safe. And the other time was when I was going from Windhoek, Namibia, to the border of South Africa. Night fell and I had to ride at night, and that was when my bike broke down.
I was coming
But
to
you
that.
learned a mechanic work now. You didn't
Look at her there.
Yes, now you learned. I mean, you were actually boasting. And now, you know, my bike. So what happened?
So you know, when I was riding, it was night had come, and it was lonely road, and on this road you see signs for wild animal. So I was really scared, and then when night came, I decided to stay behind the trailer. That if anything,
They will
it will
take
hit
the trailer first.
before it got to me. So, but you know, they were going really slowly. Then the truck at the back overtook, and I said, let me follow this faster one. So we went, and then I started feeling some type of way. So I parked. While I was behind this truck, he had signaled me to know that, yes, he knows
I know
that.
you're behind
Yes,
me.
so when I stopped, I waved. You know, he was now coming behind. I waved, and he stopped. And I told him something was wrong, but there was nothing physically wrong. We checked, he stayed with me, we checked, and my hotel was 15 minutes away. But the bike was really bad, I couldn't move. And it took me 2 hours to get to my hotel because I had to walk the bike, literally. And this guy stayed with me for 2 hours.
Wow.
I mean...
Could he speak English? No. Wow. And you were not even scared. I mean, that's a complete stranger around you.
I don't know. I had left everything to God's hands, so I wasn't scared. I'm a child of God.
Okay.
Aren't we all?
He got me.
Okay, you said your journey is beyond adventure. It's about storytelling and of course empowerment. What story really are you trying to tell?
So I'm trying to tell the story of a Nigerian youth, how resilient, how brave we are. In every country I go to, they speak highly of us, how we are in every country. Nigerians are in every country, and they are not just in any country. They come here, they come to every country to make it, right? And then the girl child. We do not give ourselves enough credit, right? Just like when I started this journey, I didn't know that I could do it alone. I've always said, I cannot travel alone. No, I always, even when I see people doing solo travel, I'm like, I cannot do it too. I always need somebody. But then when the challenge and opportunity came to do this journey, and I did it. And I see myself on the road, just going, enjoying my life, and I'm like, look at me that said I couldn't travel alone, and now I am enjoying it. So yeah, the resilience of the Nigerian youth and the bravery of the girl child. We are more powerful than we think. So we need to give ourselves more credit, and then we need to take opportunities, right? We need to go out there and be strong. Like you have it in you, just do it. You'll be surprised at how far you can go when you believe in yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, there are other female bikers, and so who are also doing this. Do you get motivated by other female bikers? And you know, this particular trip, I know that you definitely want to go somewhere else. You know, somewhere soon. So tell us. How do you drive your inspiration from other female bikers?
Okay, so even when I started this journey, I remember I spoke to a female biker and I said, please, I want to start riding. How do I go about it? And then she pointed me to the riding school, and that was how I started riding. And when I started, they would come, the female bikers would come, take you out. I mean, they took me on my first long trip to Ekpe then. And this is what we also do for new female bikers when they come. I'm in a club called Echo Bells. We are only female bikers. We would invite new bikers and take them out. And so, yeah, on this trip, I remember before going on this trip, I called a Biden, of course, and then I asked her some questions. What are the things I will need? And even when I was on the trip, I will reach out to her and say, we are trying, because now,
now you know.
I'm seeing, what it takes. And all. Yeah, so we always draw inspiration from one another. I would call my Eco Bells. We have a group, so on the group chats, I'll say, hey, I don't know today, and they will say, Madam, do it. You are doing it for all of us, so go and do it. So, the biking community, like I said, our bond is very tight, especially the girls. It's a safe space in our own group. We can tell each other the truth, and they are always encouraging me. So shout out to the female bikers of Nigeria.
Okay. I was going to, sorry, I didn't quit. Again, take us through. I'm particularly interested in the South Africa community, because I know that you also went to a few places in South Africa and you were wowed by the bikes and the facts.
And of course, bearing in mind Nigeria, South Africa,
the relationship.
Right.
Well, you had a massive welcome
Yes.
in South Africa. You went to Pretoria, you went to Cape Town. So take us through the experience, and how intimidated were you with those bikes that you saw? I'm still coming back there. Because I know you were just like, this is the first time I'm going to see this large amount of bikes.
Yeah. So when I got into South Africa, even before I got to South Africa, I was in contact with some bikers there, and a female biker, her name is Mole, we call her Marong. She came to pick me from out of town, and they came to welcome me and took me to Cape Town. So, and then I was opportune to celebrate International Female Riders Day with the women of South Africa. They came out in their numbers. I mean, the women I rode with, it was like our own community. Just the women.
Can you imagine? Your own whole community.
Okay, roughly how many in your head without counting?
On that day, I'm sure we were over 60 female bikers on the road.
Oh.
Yeah, on that
over
day.
60?
Yes.
Over
60 female.
Just female?
Yes, female riders on the road that day. And I was just wowed. They have very nice bikes. They like BMW. A lot. And Harley Davidson, those are like the bikes they like to ride. I was just really wowed. And they have this big, beautiful community. I wish in Lagos someday we can have as many women riding. And then I went from Cape Town to Johannesburg. Before we got to Johannesburg, some people also came to meet us along the way. Went to Bloemfontein because I had some people that I had been talking to on Instagram. So yeah, I met them along the way. Went to Bloemfontein. I met more women, and then when we got to Johannesburg, we went for a charity run. When we got there, I saw bikes, and I was just wowed. Like, what? There were a lot of bikes, fine bikes. A lot of
Your
beautiful
bike
bikes.
is beautiful. It's
Yeah.
equally
Yes,
fine.
it's very
And
beautiful.
it's red and just lovely colors. Very attractive.
Yes, I saw more
More beautiful. That's why there is more and most.
more beautiful bikes there when I got there. You know, I did not travel with this.
Okay, you
bike.
didn't travel with
The
us.
bike I traveled with is still,
It's still-
in South Africa.
because
Oh,
you had
it
to
has not
fly back.
returned.
It has not returned,
Oh.
and I plan to return to meet it.
Okay, so you can come back
I
on
would
the
like
bike.
to ride
You would
from
like to ride
South
from-
Africa to East
Eh, she
Africa.
mumi lele, you know. Is this? Calm down.
So is this a second bike for you, or
Yes, this was my first bike.
Okay.
The bike I took to South Africa, I bought it
For that
trip.
trip. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
because I didn't know what the plan was yet to bring it back, so that I can still have a
Another bike.
Yes, yes. I learned to drive before I to ride.
But do you still drive?
Do you still
Yes,
drive?
of course I drive.
But sometimes I'm sure you just
feel.
feel like, okay, let me just bike instead of
It
driving.
depends on
Where
you
you're
know
going.
where I'm going, traffic.
Which is easier, really? Your bike.
All right, let's quickly take a short break, and when we return, of course, we still have, and then when we return, she'll tell us how she came about Mama Speed. I almost forgot.
Yes,
I
that
want
name.
to hear that story. So when we return, she'll tell us how she came about the name Mama Speed. After this break. staying tuned. It's still the conversation here on Lagos Television. Of course, we still have Lewa in the studio this morning. I'm sure most people know you as Lewa or Mama Speed?
Mama Speed.
Okay, so how did you come about Mama Speed?
So when I started riding, I needed a name for my bike, and I chose Spade because of its tenacity, which
Okay.
I have. Then I remember it was my birthday, and a friend of mine sent me a balloon saying Mama Speed. And that was how
and that is
the
stock.
movement started.
Okay, so Spade was your own name for your bike, and the person just thought, let's help her add Mama in front of it now.
Mother of Spade.
Mama of Spade and a stock. Oh, amazing. All right, so more people would know you as Mama Spade rather than...
No, I have gone through a lot of nicknames.
Thank you. Because this one stock.
This is the last one.
Can you remember any of those?
I want to hear. I want to hear because of the way you're even laughing about it.
In uni, I used to be Owolewa.
Owolewa.
My real name is Omolewa. But
Okay.
they call me Owolewa,
Okay.
Cashlewa.
Cash Lewa.
I don't know why.
We all know why.
And then we moved from Cashlewa to Sexy Wire.
Aha.
Okay.
Yes.
They call me Lewa Sexy Wire. I don't know why.
I know why.
Okay, but
I know
Mama
why.
Spade stock
Yeah,
because
Mama
again,
Spade
it's more or less like, okay, we know this because of what you do,
do,
and of
yes.
course that resonates properly. Your parents, how did they take this at the beginning? Was it some thug of war? And I'm sure that right now they've soft pedaled.
Yes.
But how was it convincing them that you wanted to do this? I'm sure especially your mom.
My mom, yes. So when I had just finished riding school, I hadn't gotten a bike, and I was driving my parents one day, and I decided to chip it into the conversation. And my words was, Mom, Sarah bike. Like, I bought a bike, and my mommy say, dispatch bike.
Dispatch
I
right
said, power bike. My mom said, possible. And my dad was like, listen to what she has to say first. I said, oh, so I just finished riding school and I bought a bike, but it's still on the way. They've not brought it. And my dad was like, that's nice. My mom was like, what are you saying?
Why are you telling her that's nice?
But I said, but she said she had gone to riding school, so she knows what she's doing. And that was the end of that conversation. So after buying my first bike, I rode to Ibadan. I told my sister I was coming, so she came to open the gate. And when I entered, they were just hearing bike. So they came out. I went with some friends. Then my mom came out and said, girl, but you are a man. Like, why do you? My daddy was just smiling. He was so happy.
He was so, wow.
Like, he was so proud. Like, yes, that's my daughter. Like, my daddy was super happy. He climbed on the bike. He took pictures. He was very happy, and he would say, just do it like this, do it like this. Use a back brake, because I think he used to ride normal Okada. So he was like,
okay.
press your back brake, So one day I went to Ife and I came back and I was telling my dad that, I was using my phone. And he said, you will use your back. And my mother was just looking at him that, why are you encouraging
her?
This girl, And with time, I'll tell my mom, I'm going to Port Harcourt, I will even lie, and say, we are just going to Ife, but we are going further. But every time I went on the trip, she would fast until I come back.
So she fasted for 1 month.
I told her.
Is this South Africa?
Yes, like, because when I was in South Africa, they said, she was having ulcer. I said, Mommy, stop fasting. God has done it.
Even you that you were on the trip, you were eating.
My mother would pray and fast until I come back. I know, she's my backbone. She's the reason that I can continue doing this. Her prayers, keep me going. There's nothing she can do. When I was going on the South Africa trip, I said, we are going to South Africa. I said, I said, we are three. She said, okay, no problem. maybe a week before I went was when I told her that
It was a
"Èmi
solo
nìkan ni
trip.
mò ń lọ."
Ha.
I'm like, all right, we will fast and pray. Yeah, so my parents are very supportive and my dad very proud.
Proud dad.
Yeah.
Proud, proud, proud.
Okay, we've seen Lewa as a biker. You're also a content creator and also an entrepreneur. What do you do? Don't do adverts of what you do. Just tell us that and how you're able to juggle,
Yes.
all this together.
Yeah, so I run the printing company here in Lagos, and I have staff. They were able to hold it down
While you were away.
While you were away.
Yes, my sister manages the business, so it's always in safe hands
Okay.
when I'm going.
Right. So at least we know that it's not just about the bike. You also do business and you navigate through the tough waters of the economy. But again, if you look at how much your bike has exposed you to in terms of human relations, and are you glad that you're doing this? And do you have any regrets about riding a bike?
I have no regrets, right? Riding a bike has exposed me to a lot of things. Even there are places I've been to that I would never have been if not that I ride a bike. Even here in Nigeria, funny thing is I cannot travel in a car. After about 4 hours, I get sick.
Well, you can travel on a bike for...
for months. Yeah, so riding a bike has really helped me. I've met a lot of people who are now customers. It has also helped my business.
Right.
Yeah, riding a bike
Please,
is my life.
please, I want to ask you a question. How much are these bikes? are they, some people are watching you. Some young Nigerians are watching you and say, hey, okay, so these bikes, when you can leave a whole bike that you just bought in South Africa and you still have another one, how much are these bikes?
They are not expensive.
Approximately. That was what Adebola to said the other day.
Hey,
And
they never tell you
not
the exact price.
They are different. It's just like cars. So
They are different models. And you still want to buy a GS.
Yamaha.
What your pocket can.
You can't say. She's not. Anyway.
But I mean, in terms of sponsorship, because I know that you had one of the oil companies support you while on this trip. And so for marketing purposes and strategies, did that trip also open the doors for more sponsorship for you?
I would say yes. It's opened doors for me. And because I'm going on another trip, I need more sponsors.
You need sponsors.
So yes, I am hoping, now that I have done the trip, maybe they did not believe that I could do it. But now that I have done it, I have a track record, and I hope that I get more sponsorship from doing this for the next trip.
For the next trip. But the next trip, you'll still want to go back to SA to bring back your bike.
No, so from SA,
then you ride to another country. To East Africa.
Yes.
East Africa, that terrain. have you started mapping out the terrain and how you intend to?
I have been looking at the map. I heard.
You heard. Tell us what you heard.
Some of those countries, you might just be riding and you'll see wild animals. I'm looking forward to the experience.
Okay.
Mama Spade.
Mama Spade. Okay. One final thing for me, but although our producer said we can still have 10 more minutes, so in case you have more questions, we can go ahead.
I just want to, how to express, how when you were sharing your content on social media, how did you feel from people's reactions, and of course reactions of people from the different countries you went to?
I would say that my friends, my followers, they also helped me on this trip. I got positive comments. They were always cheering me on.
Emotionally.
I got a lot of love from people that I don't even know. And it inspires me to want to do more and also showcase Africa in a good light, right? People need to see a different perspective of Africa, and that was what I was going for. And my followers, they
They've
guys
been
are
amazing.
Amazing followers.
Yes.
Did you have issues with what's it called now? Money, especially transiting from one country to the other, because language was a barrier in some places. Also, did you run out of cash? Were you able to change into the local currencies, or every country you got into, were you allowed to probably spend the dollar probably as a denominator?
So I remember when I was going, I went to my bank, took all my dollars. I'm going on a trip, I need my money. So in every country, so I had dollars, right, for backup. So in every country, I would change some dollars. And then when I got into the country, I had a Naira card that was working everywhere.
Oh,
yes, so I had money in the Naira account, and I would take this card. It was working POS, fuel station,
it will just
ATMs.
convert into their own local currency.
But when you get to the borders, you have to go through small towns, and in the small towns, I may not be able to spend my card, which is why I needed the cash from changing. So I changed money everywhere. When I was going from Namibia to South Africa, I didn't have any dollar left. So what I did was I withdrew some money from the ATM in the Namibian dollars. And when I got to the South African border, I changed it.
Okay.
So because it's easier to change the money from the previous country
to where you're coming into.
Yes.
Right.
So I didn't have any issue with money.
With that.
I didn't run out of money.
Apart from the West African countries, you needed a visa.
Yes.
I want you to take us through that, because of those people who are watching, who will now be thinking they
Let
can
me
take
go.
their Okada and start crossing borders.
Yeah, so another reason I did this trip was to start a conversation around borderless Africa. Africa is beautiful. We need to see our continent, but because we need to get visas, it makes it difficult, to see our continent. So as I went through 6 countries, and I needed visas for 5 out of 6 countries. It was only Cameroon
that you
was
didn't need
visa free for Nigeria, and the process of getting the visa was okay. So for Congo, I had to travel to Abuja. So for Congo and Namibia, they have their embassies in Abuja. So I had to travel to Abuja to get the Congo visa, that's the Congo Brazzaville, and the Namibia visa. The Namibia visa was rather easy to get. You just need invitation letter, hotel bookings, and your statement of account. The Namibian visa only cost about 33,000 naira for multiple entry. That was the easiest
of the
visa that I got, because I think they are promoting tourism. So but for the Congo visa, it cost a lot, and you need a lot of paperwork. I had to get a letter from immigration in Congo. Sent to me. When I got to the embassy, I was told that it should have been DHL'd to me.
Congo, that they are even fighting.
But funny enough, I have a friend who said he got his Congo visa in Cameroon, and it wasn't as tedious. So maybe
it's a Nigerian thing.
So yeah, that's for Congo and Namibia. And then for DRC, I got it in Congo Brazzaville. In their embassy there. They only give it to black people. They don't give it to white people in DRC.
Okay, you have to
as a white person, you have to get it from your country. Yes, because of the war and all that. So for Namibia, and then South Africa also, I got it from here in Lagos.
All right. Okay, before we let you go, what's the future? Because again, you said you'd hope that more female bikers, more people, more females will embrace biking in Nigeria. I'm sure that to buy a bike is still not as moi as you made it.
And you refuse to tell us how much
it look
cost.
like. And so, what are some of the ways by which you invite younger girls or younger female bikers to be part of the community, do they get to, so for those that, go to the riding school and are not able to buy a bike, can they borrow a bike? Is that possible? So, before we go,
Let me
Rent a bike.
lend a bike.
That's another
It's
business.
a business.
Rent
But
a bike.
I'm sure
Yeah,
you won't
people
feel
rent
like,
bikes.
okay,
Yeah, people rent bikes, but for you to rent a bike, you must know how to ride. You must have ridden before. Let me start by saying that riding is a lifestyle. Not everybody can afford it. You don't need to, it's not a do or die.
Right.
If you cannot afford it, leave it, because you need to have a solid source of income. It's just like playing golf.
yeah, to maintain it.
Yes, you need to maintain it. So if you cannot afford it, it's okay. You can be a fan, but if you can afford it, you have to first go to riding school, learn how to ride. I mean, that's some money as well, and then buy your first bike. There are different types of bikes, like I said. So buy the one that you can afford, and we are willing and we are ready to welcome you into the community. But please do it safely. That's why we preach go to riding school, so you learn how to safely ride a bike. We know that there are a lot of risk involved in riding a bike, so
and you have to kit up properly as well.
Yes, you need to wear all your safety gears. I mean, these ones to cost money. So as I said, riding is a lifestyle. If you cannot keep up with it, please, it's not compulsory that you ride a bike. But yes, if you can, we are looking for you. We are
with open arms.
Yes, with open arms. Anybody can ride. I should say that if I can ride,
then anybody can ride.
Because I'm always very scared.
But then
I still do it scared.
I will answer that question when I think about it.
Any age group.
Any
can
age
ride
group.
too.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. It's been amazing chatting with you on the program this morning, and exciting conversation we've had here. Of course, hopefully when you do the second leg, we'll also be all alive to witness that journey. Thank you so much, Mama Spade, for finding time to be with us on the program today. We appreciate
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, that's the much we will take on this side of the table this morning. We've been chatting with our guest, and maybe Adebimpe will be the next biker. I don't know.
There's some things I don't talk. When I'm silent on some things, you should know that.
No,
my producer just...
Abi's bike wants to carry you to Ojude this year.
1-0, Abimbola. Thank you. Thank you. 1-0.
We'll take a quick break. When the conversation returns, part 2 of our conversation will be here.